I think it's complete. There you go.
You all set?
Yeah. Canteen money.
Have your attention, please. Welcome to the zoning board of March 25th, 2025. My name is Marty Akins. I'm the chairman. The vice chairman, Mr. Chin. Mr. Himmel, Mr. Frankel, Mr. O'Brien. This is our clerk, Mrs. Griffin. Commissioner Conlon's behind me for inspectional services. If you got a cell phone, can you please put it on vibrate so it don't interrupt the meeting? Or shut it off. If anyone's gonna testify tonight, please stand up and raise your right hand. If you don't take an oath, you will not testify. Anyone gonna testify tonight? Stand up and take an oath. If you're not, you won't be heard.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matters now in hearing. Thank you.
On the new business, ZBA 2469, JPC Architect LLC for variance, what? Yeah, why don't you do that? Can I have a motion to waive the reading?
Yeah,
of the
Mr.
minutes?
Chairman, I move to accept and waive the reading of the minutes for the regularly scheduled meeting of March 11, 2025.
Second.
On the motion, stand on all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, so moved. On the new business, ZBA 2469, JBC Architect LLC for variance to demolish the existing dwelling, construct a three-story, two-unit townhouse with garages underneath on the premise number 41 Moore Street.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Jim Chen, architect at JCPT Architect, with the address of 606 Washington Street. So tonight, the subject property at 41 Moore Street is currently a single-story, single-family dwelling located in the Res B zoning district. It has a lot size of 7,045 square feet. This residential neighborhood consists of single to three family dwellings. So the applicant is proposed to demolish the existing structure and propose to construct a new two-unit townhouse building. We had a couple of neighborhood meetings with the assistance of Councilor Ash. We heard the neighbors' concerns about parking and massing of the proposed structure. Our first iteration of the site plan actually shows a two-unit with a single driveway parking that goes into the lot. With some feedback from the neighbors, we changed to two smaller individual 12-feet curb cuts serving the private units. So as far as for the massing of the proposed structure, we use mansard. The use of a mansard roof actually visually give a perception of a two-story building with a roof over it. So it doesn't look like it's as tall as it seems. But in terms of the overall height, the residential B zoning district allows up to 35 feet. We're proposing a height of 31 feet. And with the original building, it was on the left side, it's 10.5 feet setback. We're actually pushing it further out to comply with the side yard setback of 13 feet. So this proposal consists of the two side-by-side unit townhouse with overall living square footage of 2,000 square feet per unit. Each unit consists of two parking spaces on the ground floor and two levels of living area, with a total of 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. We are in compliance with all the zoning regulation setback requirements, except for the maximum floor area ratio. The allowable FAR in this zone is 0.40, yes. And the proposal we're at is at 0.55. The residential B zoning district also requires 2.25 parking spaces per dwelling unit, which requires a minimum of 5 parking spaces. There will be 4 garage parking spaces with 2 outside parking spaces. Comes with a total of 6 parking spaces on site. The applicant is seeking variance for the Article 4 maximum FAR, and also front yard paving, since we have to pave the front yard in order to get the access to the garage. So I do believe that this proposal is very consistent with the neighborhood and the original intent of the Res B zoning district, and is not any detrimental to the neighborhood. Thank you.
I don't know, I think it's just a little big, but tell you what, if you can put pavers in there on both sides and the front going into the garage, I might be more happy. Those are my comments.
I think we can do that.
I have no comments at this time.
I think it's overall too big. Pavers or not.
I agree. I also have some issues with the large-size offices that to me look like bedrooms without the rest of the accessories, or could be bedrooms, which might help bring this down to a more palatable size, just me.
Yeah, I think the appearance of it makes it look huge in that neighborhood. That, I mean, I know it complies, but it just
I know.
looks so
Yeah.
much bigger. I don't know,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
It's an
visually,
imposing building.
yeah, it's with the mansard. I mean, we're limited by what we can do because there's only one variance we applied for, correct?
Yeah, FAR,
Yeah,
lot coverage.
Yeah.
which is up 15 points, right?
But like I said, just the appearance, it just seems to overwhelm it.
All right. You can have a seat out here for
Thank
the
you.
people, and we'll talk. Is there anyone here want to speak in favor? First call? Second call? Third call closed. Mr. Himmel, you want to read that into the record, please? The letter from DPW?
From Chang Sao Civil Engineer, March 5th, 2025, 41 Moore Street, case number ZBA 2469. We have reviewed the submittal for the above referenced project, and our comments are as follows. 1, specify how much impervious area will be increased due to the development. 2, provide plans showing existing site conditions, layout of utility, grading, drainage, and construction details. 3, explain how the surface runoff will be discharged and treated. 4, provide information of existing utilities on Moore Street. The layout of existing sewer main may not be correct. Upon completion of the project, as-built plan showing all utilities, building footprints need to be submitted along with a digital file.
Call that part of the hearing forward. These, there's a letter from Councilor Ash I'd like to read into the record if I could. A little change in the front too.
Richard Ash, Councilor, Ward 2. Good evening, Clerk Griffin, Chairman Akins, members ZBA. I've scheduled a conflict, unable to make tomorrow night's meeting. RE 41 Moore Street. As such, I would appreciate if you could read this email into the record. I hosted a community meeting on this project on October 22nd. Half a dozen abutters attended. I'm in a butter as well. The main concerns were the height, mass of the building, parking, and green space. The owners and team reworked the plans to provide more green space in the front of the property, which a number of residents appreciated. Most homes in the vicinity are 1.5-story capes or 2-story multifamilies, around 2,000 square feet. While I understand there's no variance needed for the height and they appreciated the mansard-style roof, some neighbors are concerned with the overall size and mass of the building. Thank you, Richard C. Ash, Esquire, Councilor, Ward 2.
Thank you. Is there anyone opposed or undecided? Like to speak? First call? Second call? Third call? Speak, come on up. You're opposed. Name and address for the record, please.
Karen Fickett, 45 Moore Street. My house is right next door to the one that's gonna be built.
All right,
So I live in a small house, I live in a bungalow, And that thing is just, my house is here and that's gonna be like up there. So it's, no, I'm dead set against it.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Anyone else? Step forward, name and address for the record, please.
Yes, my name is Mario Coronel. I live in 11 Silver Street. And I'm against that project because it's gonna cover all my backyard, my house is huge for my neighborhood. And also all the cars that they're gonna be parked around my house, is no parking in there.
All right.
So I'm not quite happy with that because of that reason, because I'm gonna be affected. My house is in 11 Silver Street, and it's in the backyard of my house,
Do you have a two-family or a single?
single.
Okay. Sir, you want to speak?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm here as the board, the abutters. I'm a neighbor. I live on Silver. My name is Bill Larrea. I went to the meeting to see this presentation. All the houses in that block, they're all single family. There's only two that are duplexes. Mark Oliverio and Mark asked me to speak on his behalf because he has medical problems. He says he's totally against it. His property runs all the way down the line, his backyard. This project is too big for that area. It's overwhelming. It's a one-way street, Moore Street if you're familiar with it. It's one way. It's a short stretch. We've had projects done in our area. They were beautiful projects. We had a subdivision below level, beautiful job. We had a larger project at 53 Silver Street, beautiful project. Didn't overwhelm anything. The contractor sold it after he finished. And then the last project was on Baxter Avenue. They took a one-fam, they put in a ditch, split level, fits right in with the rest of the houses in the area. No complaint. And this here is too big and it doesn't belong here.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else? Last call? Call that final hearing closed. Looks like no one wants this place, huh? Oh, guys, what do you wanna do? You just gonna say no to this, or you want a two-story building, or get rid of the office, make it a duplex, 2 stories, 2 bedrooms, might even be able to build that by right. All right, get some parking on the side, in the front.
Jim, can I ask you a question? On the facade, on the mansard roof, you have a set of 6 windows up there on the front facing. If you didn't have so many windows, would that visually, and maybe not the cupola as well, would that reduce the visual mass of the building? It seems like my eye goes up to the top, and it just seems like a lot of windows.
A lot of
in the
windows,
front.
yeah, I
A lot
think
of
it-
windows, a lot of doors, a lot of garage doors, all in the front. And I'm trying to figure out a way, visually speaking, whether, in addition to what the chairman's saying about the interior, which he may speak to in a minute, but I don't know whether that would impact your 3rd floor use.
Yeah, the use, I think will still be the same. I think we can remove 2 windows and just keep 1 window at the master bedroom.
Do you think, architecturally speaking, that would help
That
reduce
would definitely
the
help.
visual immensity of the front?
Correct.
It would,
It would help try to reducing the overall mass.
Mr. Himmel, do you, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a smaller unit. It's,
I mean, like 2 twos, Two
The last one that
stories?
came up here started out
No, I know,
with
I
a
know.
3-story deck
I know.
roof,
Right.
took out a deck roof,
Right.
it ended up as being a basic first floor, second floor,
Right.
third floor attic,
Yeah.
with sufficient parking on either side.
Yeah.
And the FAR wasn't completely off, where this one
Right.
is
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
just,
So
you
you're
know, it's,
looking for a two-story building,
yeah, this one doesn't fit, it's a nice looking building,
Yeah,
not for
it's
there.
beautiful.
Yeah.
but it's big, it's huge. That area, it's all singles, a lot of singles down there. Mr.
Well,
Frankel?
I think, as absurd as it may sound, I mean, they're not, as you represented, there's only one issue from being in compliance. I think it's the style of it, the mansard style that makes it look so mammoth.
But you got little houses over there too.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
Little
Yeah.
street with little houses.
yeah, and you're gonna affect them, they're gonna be affected.
yeah, I mean, I'm in lockstep with
So you're looking for a two-story,
two-story, two bedrooms,
two each?
something that makes it look smaller than it is now, and it's less dwarfing of the
Right.
neighbors.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yeah, I don't have an issue with the bedrooms, I just think it's, the appearance of it, like I said earlier.
So we dropped out a floor, leave it the way it is, drop it a floor, and pavers everywhere.
And then be parking in the yard, is that what
No,
you're saying?
they'll be parking, we're gonna give them the same parking, we're just gonna drop it.
Yeah, I mean, the
You can come back
FAR
with another
will still be
print.
the same.
Another print with no
Very
parking
similar.
upstairs, none of that, same thing, just gonna drop it down to the ground, so it ain't gonna affect that neighborhood, you have a two-story duplex there. Not three-story, where it just looks massive,
Yeah, that's, again. it's-
right? And then they got, even if they got 3 bedrooms, there's gonna be parking, they're gonna put pavers on the sides. And maybe they gotta push the house back another couple of feet, what do we get in the back? Get-
About
to get-
25 feet in the back.
Huh?
We got 25 feet in the back.
Well, maybe we need a 2 foot, 3 foot, whatever you gotta get to get a couple cars out front on each. Like you can have 2 on that side and you can have 1 out in front of the house, I guess, it would work, wouldn't it? Isn't there enough room? Yeah, there's enough room there.
From the front, we got 31 feet setback to the house.
Right, so I mean, you can put 2 on the right and one right in front of each door that's not gonna be there, it's gonna be, you give it 3 feet side again, correct?
Correct.
Right? You give them 6 parking spaces and drop it a whole floor, that way there, it'll fit into the neighborhood.
You're not in the flood there, right?
We're not.
Yeah.
So we'll come back April 8th, look at it, discuss it. We can run it through the people again that are here.
Enough time?
Yes.
April 8th?
April 8th.
So, here's what they're talking about. Building a 2-story, same building, just dropping the garage, get it out of there. Put 2 parking on both sides, 1 in front of the house on each. So you got plenty of parking off street, so they won't be bothering the street. And it'll be a 2-story house. No cupola, none of that jazz. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, I'm gonna steal it all. I'll give it back to you, I promise. All right, can I have a motion for April 8th and we can get this done?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, in matter of ZBA 24-69 JCBT Architect LLC for a variance to demolish the existing dwelling and construct a 3-story, 2-unit townhouse with garages underneath it on the premises, 41 Moore Street, Quincy, Mass. They move to continue the matter to April 8th.
Second.
Oh,
On the motion?
geez, huh?
Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, so moved. If you can
Thank
get us those drawings within a week,
Yep, yes, will do. Thank you.
just a week before, at least by the 1st, all right? Thanks. That's close, I know. Further on to tonight, CBA 25-9, Stephen Coble, petition and owner for a finding variance special permit, floodplain to subdivide the parcel and build a duplex on the vacant lot on the premise named 56 Meadow Brook Road.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Rob Fleming from Fleming and Fleming. I do represent the applicant, Stephen Coble. Stephen is here with us this evening as well, if you have any questions directly to him. Part of the team is here, Jim Burke, as you all know, our engineer from DeSalle Burke Sala of Quincy. Our architect, Glenn Hoffman of GPH Design Architects, was not able to be here this evening. He did have a conflict, so he does regret that. So 56 Meadowbrook Road consists of approximately 9,600 square foot lot located in a Residence B zoning district and currently improved by a single-family residence fronting Meadowbrook Road. Mr. Cobal's proposal before this board, which again has been designed by GPH Design Architects of Milton, is to subdivide the existing property, again 9,600 square feet property, into two parcels. One parcel will be fronting Meadowbrook Road, consists of will consist of 4,840 square feet and will maintain the existing single-family residence that's there today. This is a family home. Mr. Cobal lives at the home as well. The second parcel will be roughly 4,760 square feet for the proposal before this board on the vacant portion of this lot for a duplex-style two-family residence, which again will also be occupied by family, the Cobal family. Each unit of those units consists of 2 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. There will be 1 garage under each of those units as well to accommodate 1 vehicle, obviously, and driveway parking. I believe we have a third space for one of the units as well within the front setback area. Important to note that the relief being requested tonight has nothing to do with the use, the proposed use of two-family residence. Again, this is located in a Residence B zoning district, which, as this board knows, does allow for multifamily residences. We are seeking tonight a special permit floodplain. We had filed with conservation. It was kicked over. Unfortunately, I had already filed here. It was kicked over till after this particular hearing, but we will be appearing before the Conservation Commission, requesting an order of conditions. That will be on April 2nd. Jim will talk a little bit more about that, the Concom jurisdiction and the compliance. This home will be built in compliance with all regulations. We are requesting variances, some dimensional relief, as well as a finding from this board, as we are changing the existing lot. So needing this board to find that what we're proposing here will not be substantially more detrimental, which we don't believe it will be. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of more control of stormwater. Much of the dimensional requirements of what's proposed here, lot size included, mimic many of the lots in that particular area. The neighborhood itself is made up of a number of types of uses. I think I counted 4 families as well on that particular street, on the same side as the street as well. So unless you have questions for me, I'd like to turn this over to Jim Burke so he can present.
I'm just gonna say that it's too big for that little lot. That's a duplex. If you wanted to work a single family, I'd be fine with it. Not a duplex. You're up to 7. It's really,
Well, I will only point out,
I'm just telling you,
again,
I couldn't do it.
the lot size itself does lend itself to do 3 units by right.
then do it. Rip the house down and do it.
Yeah, it does, economically, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I think,
And
housing is extremely expensive. I think this is
Sure is.
another way, this becomes very personal, but this is another way for a family to sort of stay together.
the family stays
and
there
being,
for 20 years and then it's gone, it's there for life.
Right,
So that's what I think.
I understood,
They think
you
of
know.
a duplex in a little teeny lot, 4,600 square feet, to me, don't work, just don't work. So I don't know how they feel before we go on.
I think we're meeting a lot of the setbacks, front and rear,
You don't have a
in
side
line with the other
setback,
homes.
You don't have the rear on the other side and the front, the fire is 7.7 on it, or whatever, 7.5.
Well, that's the existing
that's-
home. That's the existing home. That's a
No,
non.
it's a single-family home that's on that lot, which
Yeah.
should be.
Yep.
You wanna build another single, I might be able to entertain that. doing what you're doing there? I can't.
Now, we're providing, 10-foot setbacks at either side, which I think is reasonable,
Right.
it's 13 is
Do you wanna
obviously
continue
required.
it? Anyone feel that way, so we can, I don't know. Does anyone feel that's too much for that lot?
I do. I'm not in favor of making this two non-conforming lots.
No, we talked about this before on another matter that had before you, and it's non-conforming, based on today's requirements. However, when this was subdivided back years and years ago, many of these lots are the same square footage. And some of these lots have the 2 families and 4 families. So what we're proposing here mimics many of the lots in that particular neighborhood. It might be, non-conforming to today's minimum lot size standards of the ordinance today. However, when it was created, this whole subdivision, the lots again are what we're proposing before this board today. So I'll only say that.
I prefer to use today's standards than yesterday's standards when I'm making this kind of decision, and I just think that going back in time to making 4,700 square foot lots is not what was intended by the new regulations. We intended to make them a proper size. So I think you also have other options to consider, given the size of your current lot, which the chairman alluded to, which might be more conducive to the neighborhood. My thoughts.
A three-family
Well,
on a single lot?
Other options.
Yeah.
Mr. Hamel?
I see no reason why we should repeat errors of the past and the present. It's 4,700 square foot lot with a duplex, no possible way would I approve that. Now, the last time we did this out in the neck, not that many months ago,
Singles.
they were 2 1,200 square foot houses. They split the lot, knocked the old house down, 1,250 square foot starter homes, and it fit in.
2 bedrooms, 2 baths.
2 beds, 2 bath, right?
They were over 5,000 each.
Yeah.
I agree.
Also agree.
All right. So what do you want to do with this? It's not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, doesn't look good. I would certainly request that we continue this matter,
All right?
so we can, look at it, potentially revise plans and come back. Is that you would like me to
April
see?
22nd?
That should give us time to do that, April 22nd, the second hearing in April, sure.
And then you give us a week ahead of time, we'll get a set of plans?
Yep.
Okay. Have a motion, please? Yeah.
I'd like to hear about the exciting engineering.
Not really, I don't think we need to. The next one.
Mr. Chairman, with regard to ZBA 25-9, Stephen Cobble, petitioner and owner for a finding, variance, and special permit / FPOD to subdivide the parcel and build a duplex on the vacant parcel on the premises numbered 56 Meadowbrook Road, Quincy, Mass. I move to continue the matter to April 22.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so moved.
That was so
Motion
nice of you,
adjourned.
Jonathan.
Motion to adjourn.
That was so nice of you.
Motion
Second.
adjourned.
Way back,
Question?
Chief.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so moved.
I almost said
Thank
that's
you,
not good.
ladies and gentlemen.
I'd like it when capital gains actually did like 8%.